So we talked about a lot about why people want to do MPSC and UPSC, right? So now I want to talk about the exam itself, the preparation and all those part. Let's assume people have decided to do it and now they are starting coaching classes and all that. So my first question is, as you just mentioned, right? There are some students who pass in first attempt, and there are students who take like 5 to 6 attempts, like 5 to 5 or 6 year. So what is that difference? Like for example, you just mentioned, right, there are examples where students who have failed previously 10th 12th do succeed in exams, and there are toppers who don't. Yes. Right. So when I was reading about it, many people say that yes, you want to do service for the nation or status or whatever you like. That comes after. First you have to pass the examination itself. Right. So what many people think is that people read everything when they are MPSC, UPSC, doing MPSC, UPSC, right? And some people pointed out that no, it's an exam. Take it like an exam. So what is your point on that?
See, this is a very important question. When we think about the students who have started preparation for these exams, roughly 20-25% students are such students who are devoting 100%. But out of them, very few are selected. Why so? The main reason behind that is the approach which I mentioned just now. So what we should study and what we should avoid, this thing should be considered. See, for UPSC Civil Services exam, the approach is totally different. For MPSC, Maharashtra Public Service Commission exams, approach is little bit different. In MPSC also, as exam changes, approach changes. So when you are preparing for a certain exam, the first important thing is that you need to understand the syllabus. You should take a proper review of previous year question papers of last 5 to 10 years. So those students who are honestly working on these two things, syllabus and previous year questions, they are able to get the direction, they are able to get the approach, in what approach they are framing the question, and accordingly they will develop their study approach and then they can succeed. So this is the first thing, that they should get the proper approach. Once you get the approach, then the second step comes where your work, your hard work matters. You should give your 100%. Means actually many students are studying for almost 10 to 12 hours per day, because yes, because that syllabus is so much huge. When we try to mention syllabus of UPSC, yes, UPSC has published the syllabus, but what I teach to the students in classes is that anything under sun is the syllabus for UPSC. So if so if so much is the syllabus, then definitely you have to give maximum time. So the second thing comes the hard work, and these two things, whether you are able to get the approach and whether you are able to do that much hard work, these two things are going to matter. Second thing, hard work. Most of the serious candidates are doing it. Honestly, they are working very hard, but if your approach changes a little bit, then you are going to fail. For example, if you check the UPSC Civil Services exams, the exam which is conducted for selection of IAS, IPS, IRS officers, in present condition, if you check the preliminary question paper or mains general studies question paper, you will find that 80 to 90% questions are on current events. So if that is the condition, then you have to devote maximum time for preparation of current events. But to understand those current events, what is necessary? First, your static knowledge, basic concepts of that particular subject should be clear. Just for example, recently we experienced a tropical cyclone in Bay of Bengal. So that was a news. So everybody is going to study. Yes, why? Because UPSC is giving weightage to current events. So they will study that news. But to understand that news, your basic concepts from geography about the cyclones and tropical cyclones should be clear first. Your basic concepts of science technology like remote sensing and how that remote sensing helps to predict these cyclones and able to give the early warning, that should be clear. Then only you can understand this news. Clear? So this thing should be clear in the mind of students. Then they will do their static basic conceptual study first, then they will cover their current events. So the approach part is clear.
You don't just read on a shallow level. just read the news. Okay, this was the name of the cyclone. This was the date. These many people died. This is the amount of destruction it is.
That is literally useless.
So